Welcome to 2025. This week there's three things to talk about. Katalist has introduced an incredible new feature that I'm really excited about, and it's one that I specifically asked them for, and they did it just for me, which I was so excited that they were willing to do that. But I think that you'll really like it too if you're on a similar journey to me. I'll explain. I also want to show you a really cool test result I had with Kling. Version 1.6 has come out, and it is incredible. And Mureka. It's a music AI tool. I finally got to play with something that I've been really excited to play around with, and I'm going to show you what's worked and what I'd like to see in the next version. So let me kick off by telling you about this really exciting new feature from Katalist. Now, I am settling on about a half dozen or more key tools that I'm going to be using on my project to create my demo movie from my screenplay. And at the foundation of all of this is a storyboard tool. Katalist is the one that I've chosen to base everything that I'm doing on, and I've had some great conversations with the developers and with the CEO, and they've been great. I'll cut to the chase. The new feature is the ability to upload your own video or your own photo into a storyboard. Let me tell you why this is important, and then you'll understand why. My project, I need a framework. I need a base tool where I can pull all my assets in there, and it's a lot like okay, here is my visual aid, my handy helpful Swiss Army knife. There are all kinds of multi-tools on the market. This is the one that's in my pocket, my EDC, everyday carry. Yeah, that's right. And it's got the usual, it's got the knife, it's got the little fingernail thing, it's got a little screwdriver, it's got a toothpick, it's got the tweezers, it's got the scissors, it's really useful opening packages and that kind of thing, using it all the time. But I wouldn't always use that for household jobs. No, for that, years ago I bought this from Homebase B&Q. It's the British version, or one of the British versions of, what's the American one? Home Depot, right. I bought this toolkit. It's got some tools already in it. Now that's kind of handy if you just want a household domestic toolkit to have stuff around it's got a bit of everything. Some of the tools I don't think I've ever used. Others I've used quite often and they're starting to wear out because the quality is not that great, but it's for occasional jobs. Now, if I was a heavy duty craftsman and I was regularly working in construction, I would go for something else. I would be looking at a toolbox and bringing my own tools into it. So that's how it is when you're a working professional. When you're getting to the heavy duty level, you buy all your own dedicated tools for the jobs, and then you need something to hold all that stuff in. You've got toolboxes that you can buy. Here's one, an empty toolbox, okay? Then you've got camera bags. Everybody knows you buy the thing empty and then you put all your new stuff in. I've got camera bags that I've had for years, and I get new kit, old kit, it comes and goes. You'll see where I'm going with this. There's a strong market for empty bags. Cosmetics case, empty. You buy it that way because you pull your own stuff into it. Fisherman and fishing tackle kit boxes, all empty because you pull your own stuff. You see where I'm going with this. This one's for crafting. Wardrobes. You don't buy full wardrobes that already have the clothes in the wardrobes. I mean, you see this one here, that's not actually, it doesn't come with all the clothes. The point is, in every industry, there is a strong case for having just an empty box. In the year and a half I've been working with AI tools, there are some amazing tools that have come onto the market. But now that I'm actually working on trying to seriously get to grips with a big, large-scale project, I need a tool that allows me to bring not just to draw everything that I'm doing together into one place. And I'm not talking about just the tools, it's the assets that I'm creating. All of those assets. You see, all these AI tools are great at creating lots of stuff. And every one of the AI tools are trying to push you to spend $100 a month on their all singing, all dancing plan where you have unlimited generations, that kind of thing. The problem is if you can cost justify that and you're creating that much content, you get lost in a mountain of content very, very quickly. So you need a really, really good, really solid, really organized tool for taking that stuff and organizing it. Now that's what I'm hoping Katalist is going to become, and I've talked to the guys about this and they agree that there is a strong case for building a tool that does that. Now Katalist at the moment, they're a lot like they're a lot like this case where you buy the tool, you pay up for it, and you also get some tools inside. But now that there's the ability to import photos and import video into my storyboard, it's basically becoming an empty toolbox. By the way, they're considering having two versions, a cheaper kind of monthly version where you only get the empty toolkit, where you only get an empty storyboard and they don't provide any of the generation. To generate inside Katalist at the moment, the back-end engine is Flux and Runway, I believe. But of course, you don't get all the features of Runway, but you get enough to create cool stuff, and that's great. So now, when you go into Katalist, let me show you this. You've got the three options for getting a project started. You can upload a script, and you can start with that, and that works quite well actually. Or you can generate a script over here from just an idea. So you've got the generate script, or you've got the third one, which I prefer to use most often, which is to start from scratch with a blank project, and that is my preferred way to get started. So let me show you one that I've been working on. Scene 1 and 2, the opening scenes for my movie. Okay, and I'm loving using this, by the way, the ability to start from scratch and just start building up your storyboard. That's what I've started to work on. And then the ability over here to this is a shot that I imported from Midjourney. And I'm going to show you in a minute what Kling has done with this to animate it. It's really very, very cool. But essentially, if you click on here, you've got the option to look in either image or video. So you can click on this. Katalist at the moment, you've got the opportunity to upload an image. And by clicking on that brings up the box. You kind of look for anything that's an image, and then if you click on video up here, then if with the video selected, if you were to kind of click on upload a video, I could click on one of these and upload that one. Oh no, it needs to be an MP4. Okay, I'll go back to the drawing board on that, but it does work. I've used it, and it imports some cool stuff. So this ability to now import my own videos means that I can start off with a basic sketch style in Katalist, and I can put together the storyboard, and I can use their tools for animating it if I want, and that's fine. But it means that I don't have to rely on that, so that if I find a tool I prefer somewhere else, I can generate the images elsewhere and bring them in. This is really, really important for me because I like the way that Katalist has the option, like you didn't see it here, but it starts to organize your clips. So there are multiple versions. If I click on this one, we're still looking at still image there, but if I go into video, and so you see up here we've got 4 different versions of this same shot, which I have imported from different tools. What if I told you I already know your secret? Oh, and that's my favorite. This one is amazing. We'll come back to that. It's so exciting. The short version of all of this is I'm thrilled about it because I'm talking about creating, I think I calculated it the other day, I'm looking at about 1,800 video clips for a feature film. I've worked it out that I'm looking at about 15 shots per minute. I did some little calculations, by the way. If you were making a music video, music videos are typically 1 to 1.5 seconds. A trailer, I looked at the trailer for the TV series The Gentleman, and that was every 1.3 seconds. Like, the cuts are really, really fast. So you need to bear this in mind when you're planning your project and calculate roughly how many shots you're going to be creating. Let me tell you about Kling. So Kling has a new version, version 1.6, and I gave it a try with a shot, and these were looking amazing. In terms of prompt adherence, it was really, really good. Close-up shot of a beautiful young woman wearing a party dress in a busy London nightclub. As she glances over her shoulder at the man stood behind her, the expression on her face becomes confident and flirtatious as she looks at the young man flirtatiously. Club filled with crowds of people. The prompt adherence was really, really good here. And this one was even better. And that one I decided to try the lip sync with.
And what if I told you? I already know your secret. And what if I told you? I already know your secret.
That was amazing. It looks kind of cinematic. It actually looks like it. If my whole demo movie looks like that, I don't care if nobody else watches it and likes it. For me, it'll be therapy for this thing that I spent more than a decade of my life working on, more like 15, even 20 years from the first inception of that. To be able to see it come to life like that would be amazing. So I put it into Final Cut Pro, added some music and some background stuff, and here's what it started to sound like.
And what if I told you? I already know your secret. And what if I told you? I already know your secret.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so impressed with that. The lip sync, the way her face is moving, and they're still managing to hold it. Sure, you lose the first word a little bit, but I'll take it. I'm sure with a couple of extra generations, I'd be able to get that. It's looking really, really impressive. Mureka, I want to just quickly cover. Mureka is a music tool, and that is one that I've been excited about because it does something that I needed. My feature film is a musical, and I have real problems because I don't have the clout, the size, the budget to be able to talk to the original artists to talk about any meaningful plan to use their music in my movie. So I got to figure out a way of still bringing that music to life, at least something similar. And so I'm almost pushed into the arms of AI because it's like trying to climb a mountain, even just to be able to talk to anybody who represents these musicians, just to have a realistic conversation, because that's the problem with being a little guy on your own trying to create big dreams. You don't have the budget, you don't have the clout. So AI becomes more and more appealing. And so Mureka is a tool that lets you create content, create music, by using a reference song. Now look up here, see this? Create songs inspired by a reference track. And I was like, whoa, now that's very cool. Let me see if I can find one. So here's one example. Celeste, Stop This Flame. Oh, I love this track. This has become the soundtrack for the opening scene. And by the way, the kind of tone and vibe, the tone and vibe, I'll come on to that. This is the song I wanted, or at least without the lyrics, but the soundtrack for the opening scene. And when I heard it and I visualized it, suddenly it all my opening scene started to come together in a whole new way. So I wanted something that sounded like that. So I imported that song into Mureka. And let's see, we ended up with something that sounded like this. Well, if you knew what was in my head. I had to enter some lyrics. It won't create a song just from music, which really sucks. I'd like the next version to be able to create music only. That would be an important upgrade. So I had to come up with some rinky-dink lyrics just to create this. When we're together, you'd see red. It's not as cool as the original by Celeste, but still has the same kind of vibe. Well, if you knew what was in my head when we're together. And now that has a kind of bossa nova thing going on. I think it struggles with anything that doesn't fit a genre. And that's one of the problems, because I'm always drawn to original music that does something unusual and unexpected with genres. I look for stuff that's cool and different and original. I don't like fitting straight into a pre-packaged genre. And lots of the AI tools for music work around, at least at an entry level, work around existing genres. But anyway, it has potential. Downside, I could only select 30 seconds of the track when you go to reference and you upload it. you kind of you paste a link here, and this is only for the pro version, by the way. Here's another one, Ethan Bortnick, Hide and Seek. This is another very, very cool track. I'm not done grieving the one that came before you. It is one of the coolest songs from last year. You have got to listen to that. I'll link this below. Ethan Bortnick, Hide and Seek. And it's an amazing song. I wanted to see if I could kind of replicate some of that. And what happens when you do that is, let's see, Command copy. Let's copy that link into here, paste the song. Okay, and let me show you a couple that I already did. And so here are 2 versions that I tried earlier. I had to select 30 seconds, which is a shame, but I'll come on to that. And from the 30 seconds that I selected, that's a great kind of similar feel, similar vibe. Really good. Well, if you knew what was in my head when we're together. And that is also really similar in terms of I wanted a really fast, intense drum and bass kind of beat underneath, and these ethereal, soft floating vocals and piano over the top of it. Brilliant work. I've managed to get some results that it's been mixed. The downside of having only 30 seconds is that the whole song only has that to work with. And a great song goes through highs and lows. It has a climax and it also kind of retreats from that. And a cinematic song, particularly, something that it has emotional flow to it. It's not just the same emotion all the way through. And so I need my songs to be able to do that, and I need more than 30 seconds worth of a reference clip in order to get the output song. For the next version of this, I would love to see the ability to pace the lyrics differently. You kind of enter the lyrics up here and you get what you get. The lyrics, you have no control over when the lyrics are sung and how long the notes are held for and how long which word is held for. So it's early days though, but great tool for creating a song from a reference if it doesn't fit into an existing genre. But I'm going to struggle to create the stuff that I need for my movie yet. But Mureka is definitely worth playing around with. This feature with reference is only available in the Pro plan, but it's really, really good. Quick project update before I go. I'm taking control of my whole thing. I started to soften up in terms of, are you creating your project for other people or for yourself? If you're creating it for somebody else, you're a professional because you are doing it as a profession for work. Your audience, they are going to ultimately pay for the content that you're creating, and so you create for them. And that's a legitimate way to create as a creative. Sometimes you want to create just for yourself because you feel passionate about it. And by the way, that is what it means to be an amateur. The word amateur is derived from the Latin word that turned into a French word, amour. And if you trace it back, go Google this, the root of the word amateur. It takes you back to amour, and amour, it means to love. The definition of an amateur is somebody who does something because they love it, not because they're not good at it. It's very important. A professional is somebody who does something because it's their profession. They're being paid to do it. This is something I'm doing because I love it. By definition, I'm an amateur because I'm doing this because I love it. Now, that doesn't mean... it means that I got a little sidetracked because I thought, well, I need to find an audience, so I need to make it a profession, and I need to do something... I think it will appeal to a female audience. So I've started to make it all pink and girly. The problem is it's not instinctively me, and I don't have a team around me to help me to create that whole pink girly vibe. So I didn't write this thing from the start to appeal to girls. I wrote this, although I hope it will. I wrote this as the story that I would most want to watch, the movie I'd most want to watch. So I'm going to get back to my roots of creating the movie that I most want to see, which means the title is going to be changed from Telepathy Sucks back to its original title, Captain Wishy Bloke. And there's a reason for that. If you watch the movie one day or read the book, then you'll understand. And I need a new book cover that has the vibe and the feel that I was originally going for, with Captain Wishy Bloke proudly and boldly as the title. I'm going to go back to my roots of having a new intro with the feel and the sound and the vibe that I wanted to do originally. Watch this space. This is this week's dump. Watch next week. Tune in for next week's. Thanks for watching.